Hello folks. So in this video I wanted to actually debug an issue in Grafana Loki, which is actually a log management platform, and we have been having issues in it. So we noticed that the Loki, the ingester component, which I need to learn about, takes time to come up, startup, right? So we've been noticing slow startup times. So and we're using an older version of Loki. So let me show you. So this is one of the environments. This is happening probably in like multiple environments, like many environments, I think. So let me just push myself down here, and so if you look here, we have actually 9 instances of the ingester component. There are other components of Loki. You can actually see there is the prompt tail component and distributed ingester, index gateway, distributor, querier, ruler, and query front end. So what we are interested in is only in we are only interested in the ingest. So that is what we are interested in. It's the ingester, distributed ingester. So just distributed ingester. So with that, what I'm going to do is, okay, so I'll show you what is the, what do you say, it's a stateful set actually. I'll show you what is the image that's running. So we have actually an older version of a Loki running up. So this is in a different namespace. So if you look at the image, we actually have 2.8.2. It's an older version of Loki. So you can actually do RG is basically rip grep. It's a alternative to grep. So we have 2.8.2, right? So I am actually acquired or like obtained the logs that happen during the slow startup, right? So you can actually see the logs. This is one of the logs. There are more logs actually. For example, this is one more in this same environment. And also the other thing that I noticed was multiple things I noticed. So for example, so yeah, we use version 2, and then we have a horizontal pod autoscaler, which I can't check out. Which I can't see because I don't have access to see the horizontal pod autoscalers. But these manage the number of instances of the Loki ingester. There seems to be an increase in count at times and then decreased to immediately after. All the data regarding the increase and decrease is mentioned in the Kubernetes events. Look for ingester stateful set or the ingester pod or ingester horizontal pod autoscaler. Look for the object kind pod stateful set horizontal pod autoscaler, namespaces, facets. You can also see this data in Grafana dashboard for stateful sets. So if you go to stateful sets, you'll notice that the count of the stateful set keeps increasing and decreasing. So here, if you notice, you'll notice that it's 10 over here, and then here it's 4. So it keeps changing. So this is in the last 110 days, this much variation. Now if I actually duplicate this window, just a minute. Yeah, I'm back. So this is the data. Save dashboard. Oh, looks like there are a lot of changes. I'm not going to save this for now. Let me put 120 days. 100 days should be good. 105 days. Yeah. Cool. So we have a lot of data here, and if you look at the data, 1 minute, let me duplicate this and I'll show you in the recent times how the data has changed. Let's say last 24 hours. So this is the data for the last 24 hours, right? So here also you'll notice what is the data. So in the last 24 hours, how it has gone up and down. Um, so here you can see it's 9, and then it became 6, 8, 4, right? I think based on the traffic, it just keeps increasing and decreasing, and sometimes it goes till 15 also. The only main problem is sometimes there is this alert which says that it's taking time to come up. The pod is taking time to come up. Right? One of my guesses is that you can see here that it's downsizing to 4, and then later it's upsizing to 7 and whatnot, right? And then 15 is like a high over here. I think so. This is stateful set. I think the drive, like the hard drive, like the not the hard drive, probably it's a solid state drive. So the volume, the disk is getting reused, is what my guess is. And not guess, it's a sure thing, but my guess is that's what is causing the problem. So here you can actually see, let's say Kubernetes get PVC assets, and we just do this. So you'll actually see that from 0 there is still a 9, and then 10, 11, 12, 13 till 16, basically 16 disks, 0 to 15, including 0 and 15. So it says bound, basically to say that there is a volume attached to it, or a disk attached to it, but only some 9 of them are being used now, because the stateful set that we saw, only 9 are there as of now. The count is just 9. It has downscaled, right? So now it has become, now it's 8 actually, and one of them is actually upscaling. Let me get which one it is. So it's the 7th one. I think this is the second time it's restarting. Let me get the logs for this, right? Let me see the logs for this. And I want to see the previous logs for this also. So here you can actually see what's going on. So it's saying starting, and then it says handing over indexes to the shipper, starting index shipper in WO. I'm guessing it's the write only mode, because RO is usually read only. So components are this and whatnot, and then loaded leftover local indices, error null, successful true, buckets 9 and all that. Initializing module runtime config, module server and whatnot. Okay, so once all this is done, store ring and whatnot, member list fast join. It says joined nodes, it says 23. I don't know why it says 23, because there are only some 9 nodes totally. It says joined nodes 23. Finally it says successful for that. So joining member list cluster succeeded, reached nodes 23. So I want to understand what's happening over there, and also I want to look at actually what is the previous log for this thing. So I'm just going to say -p for previous logs to be able to see what happened previously on this one. So okay, it says previous container ingested in pod is not found. Cool. So looks like we couldn't find the logs over there. I'll probably get the logs from our dashboard. Like Loki should have the logs of itself, so I'll find it from Loki. I'll get it from the Loki dashboard from Grafana itself. So for now, the things that I want to check is, by the way, I don't have enough access to check some things. So for example, I can't do exec into the pod yet. I can't get the config map. So in that namespace, let me see if I can get the service in that namespace. Let me check. This is the default namespace. This might die in some time. You cannot say, yeah. Says run references, MySQL proxy. a lot of flushing stream and whatnot. Anyways, so yeah, I'm able to get the services. I'm just gonna get ingester for now here. This should give me one. This is the headless one which has no cluster ID, and this one, like, probably does a round robin and sends the request to a particular ingester. So 9095 and 3100. I'm not sure what the 9095 is used for and 3100 is used for. Maybe it is different things for metrics and one for the API itself. Metrics, there's a different port usually. So let me check that out. So this is for gRPC. This is for HTTP. Okay, got it. Cool. So I want to understand the ingester component, and I want to understand why these slow startups happened. So they actually take a lot of time to start up. So it usually says this thing. So uploading table, and it tells some table ID and all. And the other thing I wanted to check is the member list. I think member list is basically the one created by HashiCorp, which is so this one. So this is something that's been there for a long time now. So it's a package for gossip-based membership and failure detection. So this is a library actually. It's a package, module, dependency, whatever you want to call it. So it's a package, Golang package, Go libraries. So you can basically just do, like, import it and do stuff and manage members and all. You'll get the list of members, right? So the most different part of member list is configuring it, since it has many available nodes and all that. Okay. So there are protocol, like there's some protocol called SWIM, I think. Scalable, weekly, consistent, infection style, process group membership protocol. So apparently this is the one. Okay, so it might be behind a paywall. Okay, it is not. Access to institution, subscriber, purchase, $35 for non-member, member, $15. Anyways, I can get this for free. Just a moment. Download references. Just a minute. Okay, these are just all the references inside that. Sorry. There should be. Okay, let me just get this URL itself. Cite this. Go to reference. What's reference anyways? I'll go to Sci-Hub and I should get the data. Yep, got it. That was pretty fast. Membership protocol. Okay. So this is the one, and I think there's one more. This is by Armin Edgar, is actually one of the founders of HashiCorp. So this is by the HashiCorp folks. So however, we extend the protocol in a number of ways. Several extensions are made to increase propagation speed and convergence rate. Extensions that we call Lifeguard are made to make membership more robust in the presence of slow message processing due to factors such as CPU starvation and network delay or loss. Cool, that's pretty cool. This should be accessible, yeah, PDF. This is Cornell University's thing, so it's already there. I'll just call it this. Interesting that this is also a Cornell University paper. Cornell, no. Interesting. So this is from folks in Cornell University. So let me see if I can find this out. Anyways, that's just an extra thing. Swim. membership protocol. Okay, so it just shows this actually. It doesn't show anything else. Anyways, I'm guessing Arxiv is under Cornell University, but acknowledge support from Simon and non-contributions. Okay. Anyways, cool. So here I want to understand, since I'm not able to get into the pods, I can't really see much, but I can actually access the API by doing. I mean, I can't do port forward, I think, because let me see, port forward service. This. This 3100 for this namespace. I don't think I have access for this, but I can actually probably get into a I don't have access. So what I can do is just a minute. There's already a 5.log. Is there a 6.log? Yeah. 7, 8, 9. Cool. Let's get this. So I can't do port forward there, but I can access let's say the default namespace, and maybe I can run a Ubuntu or something to just access the thing. 1 minute. So do I have any Ubuntu pod? No. Let me just say something like ubuntu.yaml, right? Interesting. Amazon Q does not show up here. Resume auto suggestions currently paused. Interesting. So should I try this out now? I think I'll just stick to my own stuff. API version is apps/v1. Explain deployment. Kind is deployment. So it's apps/v1. API version is that. So it's the API group and API group version. So, and then metadata spec, metadata name, Ubuntu debug. For debugging, debug. Okay, so spec. There should be a spec template, I think, which is to say pod template, which will have its own metadata and stuff. So metadata, and then there should be labels. I'll just say name debug can be deleted through deployed for testing, true, right? So, or should I say yes? Cool. So, and I need selector, progress deadline replicas 1. I just need 1. Select selector. I need the selector. Strategy by default, I think, is replicas. I'll just put it as 1. 1. So selector match labels, and then just say this. Interesting how Amazon Q can edit. Okay, what if I do this? Enter instruction for Amazon Q. Okay. So this is the metadata. I won't give it any name. Spec is basically, I think I'll say containers template slash metadata spec. That's it, I think. Spec. So in metadata I can have annotations, but I don't want to have any annotations. So I'm fine. Usually these are used in annotations if it's random data, so I'm just going to put it as annotations. And let me try to use some other labels. I'll just name debug is enough, I think, for now. Maybe I'll just say OS Ubuntu purpose debugging. Yeah. So spec, and we have containers in spec. So one moment, should be here containers, and then I think I don't need any cool secrets in it. Containers, node name, OS. What is this OS? Pod OS. Specify the OS of the container. Some pod and anyways, interesting. Cool. So I think I don't need anything else. I don't need readiness probe, liveness probe, and all. So I think I'm good. That will come under the containers, but other than that, I think I'm good. So containers, I don't need any volumes. I'm good there also. I don't need any volume mounts also. So startup probe and all, no needed. Readiness probe. Resources, maybe I'll give some resources because I don't want it to use too much resources. So containers, and I'll just say hyphen. I'll say name Ubuntu image. I'll give the Ubuntu image. So hub.docker.com/_/Ubuntu. Yeah, that's the one. So I want the latest. So the latest is basically Noble 24.04. So I'll just say Noble for now. Ubuntu 24.04, right? And then so do I give a command? Restart policy. I think there should be restart policy. Liveness probe, readiness probe ports. I don't need any ports. Readiness from the resources. I'll reuse the resources. It's interesting to have a spell check so you can actually see that there's a spelling issue. Resources, request limits. Okay, I think this is claims. Is this the person volume claim? Resource claims. I don't know what this is. Request is a name chosen for a request and the reference claim. Okay. Resource claims of the pod where this field is used. Of one entry in pod.spec.resource claims. Okay, looks like there's a resource claims something. Anyways, I'll be using I'll just check this out. I'll be using the limits and requests. So let's just say limits, and I want requests also. They'll be both CPU and memory. So claim name, template name. Okay, same name is in this pod. There is a template. Same name, exactly one. So name uniquely identifies the resource claim inside the pod. This must be a DNS label. Okay. Looks like there is a resource called API resources. Let me just check it out. Claim. There's persistent volume claims. There's nothing called resource claims. I don't know. Resource claim template object in the same namespace as this pod. Okay. Get a resource claim. Yeah, it doesn't have such a resource template. I think it's some extra extension that probably needs to be enabled. Anyways, I'll just check that. So limits and requests. So it's going to be CPU and memories. CPU, I'll just say some 500 M. So CPU 1 minute. Map of string to quantity. It doesn't say what. It's interesting how it doesn't say that it's RAM CPU, but anyways, I think it can be anything, but because it says string, I didn't know this. Anyways, I'll just say CPU and I'll say 500 M. RAM is 1 GB, 1 GI, and that's what I will say for request limit and this. And I'll say pods when templates when restart policy or something should be there for the pod. Restart policy. Yeah. Restart policy is always. So by default, what is it? One of always. So enum always, never, on, failure. Default is always. Yeah. I'll just say explicitly always. So here I should have a restart policy always, right? And in containers image, and then I'm just gonna say something like it's gonna have a containers and then command. I think I don't need any args, I guess. Let's see. Command the entry point, and then the args should be an array of thing. Yeah, so arguments to the entry point. So I'm just gonna say command. I'm just gonna say bash. Just gonna say FNC sleep. Maybe how much seconds? 24 hours is 24 into 1 hour 60 minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 86,400. Right. So I'll just say 86,400. And let me see if I can just deploy this now in the auth. Can I create deployment? Sorry. Auth, can I create deployment? Yes. It's just to check if I can create a deployment. In the default namespace I can, but in the facets namespace I think I can't. This is just for ensuring that I keep things safe. Let me just say default namespace then. -n, -f this. So let's see if it works. Yes. Cannot unmarshal bool into ghost struct. Metadata annotations. Okay. So basically, this has become boolean. In annotations, you can only put strings everywhere. So I think even yes is a bool struct. Or anyways, I'll just say true here. Now it should get created. Invalid value RAM must be standard resource type or fully qualified. Did it get created first? Oh, it's not RAM, it's memory. Okay. I forgot to say it's memory, it's not RAM. 2 times it came up, right? So for 0 limits and requests for both. So RAM must be standard resource type or fully qualified. Must be standard resource for container. This is memory. My bad. Well, it got created. I'm just gonna go ahead and see if it got created properly, and then I'm gonna try getting into it. Okay, it's in crash loop back off. Why? Describe pod. Create executable file not found. Okay, try to execute this whole thing. It's actually supposed to be I shouldn't put this. I should have put space. Damn it, it's my mistake. Let me try to fix that out before someone starts killing me. Okay, it's running. Let me just get this here. Let me just ensure that it's running for some time before I move on to. Yep, I think it's good. So now I can just say exec -it deployment debug bash to get in the pod. Cool. So now I think I can access the service that we saw there. So not this one. I think. Sorry, this is not the one. In this namespace. Let me just confirm that I'm in the right context. Yep. Cool. So let me see if I can actually access this. Do I have curl? No. apt? Yes. Install curl even before doing an update. Can it work? No. Let me just do an update, and it should get all the latest stuff. Okay, I'll install curl. Okay, with that, don't know what that is. Front-end read line. I think doesn't have some stuff, but anyways, falling back to front-end teletype. Okay, cool. So just do this. Let me just. Do I have dig? No. ns lookup. No. Okay, can I just do this? Dot facets. It should be connection refused, but it's not coming up. Okay. It's trying to hit it, so it's at 80. So let me just try 3100. Okay, 404 page not found. Good. So what are the Loki API endpoints that I can access? Grafana, Loki. Wait a minute, Grafana. I need this one. Grafana. Loki. Okay. I'll go to the docs and understand Loki on GitHub demo. Okay. So learn about Loki, set up Loki, configure, send logs, manage Loki. I want manage. So configure, send data, manage, and reference also I need to find out. Loki HTTP API, yes. So this is to push the data. Okay, ingest endpoints, query endpoints, status endpoints. Is it ready? Metrics, config. Okay, I can get the config actually. Let me try getting the config. /config. Okay, that's the config. I don't want the verbosity, so I'll just get rid of that. Let's get that straight. So this is the config. So just a minute. Okay, I'm back, and let's look at what ready and log level gives. Ready should give me 1. I'll just use this. It's ready. Log level. Okay. It's log underscore level. Okay. Weird, it's not giving me the log level. Not found. Okay. Metrics, services, build info. Metrics, services, usage report running, store registers running, services, and ring endpoints, compactor, flush or shutdown endpoints, rule endpoints, log deletion endpoints, other endpoints. Okay, this is for rules, this is for shutdown. Distributor ring. Display web page is a distributor hash ring status including the state, health, and last name. Okay. So let me get the build info. Loki API v1 status. Loki API v1 status. Build info. Okay. So distributor ring, index gateway ring, ruler ring, compactor ring. Okay. Is there no ingester ring, compactor ring? I think it should be ingester ring. Nothing. Okay, so we don't have much over here. Deprecated endpoints, and then query logs. This is for HTTP thing. For managing, oh, this is okay, this is for 3.5. Find another version. I need to look at it for 2.8.2. 2.8.2. Go to page. Okay, so now I'll look at the HTTP API. This is going to be very old. Config, services, ring, ingester shutdown. rules. So deprecated endpoints. So the Loki API v1 index stats endpoint can be used to query the index for the number of streams, chunks, entries, and bytes that a query resolves to. Okay, but we don't want to give any query for now. We just want the statistics, the stats overall. Configuration parameters, clients, prompt tail, lambda prompt tail, okay. Docker driver, okay. Locule operations, authentication, Loki and Grafana, observability, overage exporter, Grafana, Loki storage, file system, time series database, multi-tenancy, storage tools, logs, CLI. So what can I do, I wonder? Labels, job, command line reference, okay. Labels, series, okay. I think we have to be looking at this part. Interestingly, the latest version, I wonder what's the architecture. That might not be that different, I think. Let me see. Viewing, find another version. Latest. Architecture. Overview. Integrate with graphite, no. There's nothing called fundamentals here, huh? Let me just do this, but with this. Architecture, where Loki architecture, okay. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Looks like the architecture hasn't changed much. No, it hasn't changed at all. Weird, the enterprise one has some changes, is it? No, it's the same. Manage, this is for the latest version. How do we manage stuff? Maintaining design documents, improvement documents. It's going to be a tricky thing to understand how this even works. So this one, as you can see, it stopped. So the 7th one stopped. Okay, yeah, the 7th one stopped, so it has become really low. Interesting. Loki ingester slow startup issue 10.log. Loki ingester slow startup issue 11.log. Okay, so I think the thing to do here is understand this part, the joined nodes part, and then I think this is the total number of stuff. I wonder if it has any details on, like, can we just search this? Member list. Mimir. This is for Mimir. Is this for the Loki? View all results. Okay. Grot. Node name, randomized node, stream timeout, join members, list of okay. This is all fine. I want to know what is the. This is for Mimir. Association. Yeah, the member. Oh, anomalous argument HTTP endpoint if enabled. Okay, if it is enabled, then it can do it. Members of this cluster. That is for Mimir. Is it also there for? Member list. Okay, there is something actually. Wow, that's good actually. Suspect state is equal to 0. Okay, so actually the member list says the correct amount of stuff only. Interesting. Let me put this in a HTML file. Nope. Pencil and code. Pencil code. Interesting. I had one thing, so I'm just looking for that. Nope. 7.0.github.io / pencil and code. Yeah, that's one. I don't know what this is. Pencil code. How to define a difference? Visible height. Wow, that is some crazy stuff. Okay. So basically, this is the thing. So JSON. Cool. I wonder where this JSON is coming from. JSON. View key collector. This won't ingester stuff, but I think this is only for the collector, compactor, and then that's it. Member list cluster members. That's why it showed 23, is it? Because so it's not wrong when it says 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13, 15. Let me see. Probably 16, 17 of them. So 17 of them now. So if you look at, I think if it says joined nodes anywhere, then it should be just that much. Presets. Yeah, join in over this 20. Cool. So Loki ingester slow startup issue 12.log. Just wondering if there are any unnecessary stuff going on over here. You also have wall full, like disk full wall failure. Like when our disk becomes full, there's a wall failure because wall cannot write to the disk, right? If you don't have disk at all, disk space at all, disk space is not there. There's no disk space available, then of course it will give an error. So, anyways, the good thing is I can at least see the member list status. So this is good. This is enterprise latest version. So this is interesting. Good that I got this thing. That was helpful. So I think / member list. Anyways, that was good. Thankfully. That was useful. Cool. Configure Loki, manage Loki. So this is latest again. I don't want the latest. I want the version I'm looking for, which is 2.8. Yep, I'm looking for this one. So looks like this is the storage. There's no other different storage. Current version. This is here the storage. There's a lot of stuff I think. Query, visualize, manage. Storage. Yeah, there is like time series database, Bolt DB shipper, file system object store, storage schema, write ahead log, log retention, log entry deletion, legacy storage and whatnot. Table manager. I think Bolt DB single store is a legacy storage option recommended for Loki and is not recommended for new deployments. Is a recommended index for Loki 2.8 and newer. Okay. Looks like this is the recommended thing. Interesting that I can't find. Okay, so starting in looks like in operations there is something called TSDB and they recommend this only. Example configuration. This use a date in the future. New TSDB schema. Schema included an example for reference that does not need changing. So from future storage. Okay. I think you should say store is this. I think looking for config, or was it ready? I'm looking for config, and here the store is okay. This is member list. Ingester, that's all. That's the KB store. Shared store S3. Yeah. So store is TSDB. Interesting. I think at some point they did change it to TSDB. 2023 April versus 2020 October. Okay. It is time series database now. Interesting. slow starter issue 13 log. Cool. I think I'm just gonna stop here and probably look at the code of 2.8.2 and understand how time series database works. So Prometheus time series database subproject for a for deeper explanation you can read Owen's blog post. The short version is that this new index is more efficient, faster, and more scalable. It also resides in object storage like the world reading index is preceded it. Okay. I might be able to get the object storage for this the backend, but I need to see what the volume is all about. What the volume has. You probably have to get access first. I will go through that. Table manager is only needed if you're using multi-store logging. If you're using recommended only reviewed one. Apparently TSDB is the first thing. And I remember something else from here. This is the recommended, is it? What about I don't know, recommended? They had DynamoDB and all before. Interesting. Okay, so manage storage. You can as a new mode for the single store and is now the recommended way to process data in Loki. Okay. So yep. There are two support modes. Okay. It has the same feature parity as a window. Let me see if there is any TSDB here. It does mention TSDB head manager. Is there a bold DB? It does say bold DB shipper. I don't know why that is the case, but anyways. Cool. I think I'm just gonna click this and see. Here, this is 2.8. Clearly says the storage recommended is TSDB. Single store refers to using object storage for both. Like object storage is a storage medium for both Loki's index as well as its data, the chunks. So, and clearly the TSDB is recommended index for Loki 2.8 and newer. So, cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna probably get back to this later. For now, I'm just gonna close these and we'll probably get back to this issue. But yeah, I think we have this issue in many places and not just in this environment. Probably in many places, but we just need to understand this behavior, why it increases, is it just the traffic, and why does it take a lot of time for it to come up, to start up. So for now, for example, it's 7 nodes, right? Few minutes back it was actually 8 nodes. Before that it was 11, 10 and all that. So we need to understand how this difference is there, and also the usage, the persistent volume claim. The volume usage is pretty high in some disks. For example, there's 53% for 13, which is not even being used as of now. There is 56 in 12. There's 57 in ones in 12. That's interesting actually. So I don't know, there are like multiple 12s and 13s and whatnot, but it's pretty high. The number is pretty high. For 9 it's 30. Um, hmm. Cool. I think this is something to check out. Yeah. You need to understand why there is like a lot of this usage. So you can see here how it was used a lot, and then it went down. So we need to see why the volume usage was pretty high and why we get disk full and the wall failure issues and what we do for that. We have some run book for it. I've heard people, I've seen people, and I've also heard people do some stuff for it. Some stuff they go ahead and delete the wall log, something they do. So pretty weird stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and like stop here. I'll probably get back to this later um, and start investigating this. Like continue investigating this. So for now, I think I don't have much data except that CPU. So you can see actually why the pods scale down, scale up happened. For example, this is one example from just yesterday. So new size resource utilization went above target, right? So and then I think it also becomes smaller later. So for example, if you just do last 5 minutes, I think there won't be any events around this stuff. So new size is 10, all metrics below target, so it downsized, I guess. So last 15 minutes, so you can see how it has downsized. 30 minutes, and this you can see even for ingest. Looks like there's data only in one of them. So only in this there's data, I think. So if you just do last 24 hours, I think we should see a lot of data over here. So yeah, I mean it's all 10 for now. It's weird that it didn't go below that, because for so if you do this, you should see no data now, right? Ingest. So let me see stateful set, ingest. So create and whatnot last 5 minutes. Did it create? Oh my god, I think it exceeded, like it became big, like bigger now. I thought it was only 7 nodes. It is 7 nodes only. This is when weird that it says stateful set create pod 10. Just now it said like weird that it says this in the last 5 minutes. But something wrong with this data, I think, because this is not the data for now. This is the data, probably older data, because it's not creating any, what do you say, anything now. So it just says create, yes, and so it was successful. Weird. Describe STS and this. Oh, this one comma, because it will just say not found. Just a minute. Presets. Yeah, this did delete last, that's all. So 10, 9, 8, everything deleted. Anyways, cool. So That's all I had for this video. I'll probably get back to this issue later. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. For some reason that died. Was the pod killed? No. Some weird stuff. The pod name changed for some reason. I don't know why. Different pod came up. For what reason? No idea. Don't know. Describe deployment. Nine C. Okay. This is the one. Some reason it died, I think. Anyways. Cool. So that's all I had for this video. That's the next one. Bye bye.